Yeah, and like I said, I think he's just got going. I think his momentum's just shifted slightly on. Game set up nicely there.
Yeah, it is, and I think he was 3 off about 15 or 16 at one point. He's really started to gain more confidence as we see the bowling card. Charles Perchard has looked good at times from the far end. 3 overs 0 for 18. Beer as well looked to vary his pace a lot. The groundsman here looking to find a couple of demons in the wicket he's prepared, which looks a brilliant track. Samaroa gone at 4.3 per over. He's bowled with precision at times, but the short ball ploy he's trying to act out at the minute doesn't seem to be working just yet. Richardson with that 1 wicket as well. Now with Nepal on top, this drinks break comes at a good time here for Jersey. What do you think's the message in the camp from head coach Neil McRae? What do you reckon they'll be trying to draw out of his players?
I think he'll be asking questions around the length. He'll probably be, looking to see which end he can really exploit. I think if I was Neil, I'd be trying to reduce the boundary ball to try and ask where we can get a little bit more pressure inside the ring. But overall, I don't think it's been an overly bad start from Jersey. I think so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. But overall, I think that's a positive start from Jersey. 15 overs, whether they can, drinks always brings one or 2 wickets, as they say. So it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of wickets. From a Nepal point of view, it'll be interesting to see whether they can restart again, group again, focus back in, and see how the next 5 overs, the next 10 overs, the next 15 overs, 5 over periods, on whether they can sort of start to capitalise and get into them triple figures.
Yeah. Just building on what you said there about the plans to each batter, and saying how that short ball ploy to Bertel doesn't seem to quite be working yet.
No.
I tell you what though, I reckon it could work to Bim, because Bim's looked to be pretty compulsive hooker of the ball. There was a shoddy hit out to deep mid wicket from the other end. I think maybe off the bowling of George Richardson perhaps, that he didn't quite get a hold of, and I think that the extra bounce of Samaroa to slightly shorter batter of Bim Sharkey, that might be a little bit more of a ploy, but Patel has put away any back of a length delivery today.
Yeah, and interested to see. You're 100% right. I'd like to go shorter at Bim, probably from this end, the end that we're at, hitting into the wind. See if you can hold one up, because the one that he has played didn't look quite convincing. Whereas Kushal, I'm not sure the short ball ploy against him. If anything, you'd want to keep him quiet. You'd want to put some pressure on Bim as much as possible. Yes. But again, it's a different passage of play now. It's about who can contain the longest, who can sort of bring a breakthrough, and what type of breakthrough. Can we go, 1, 2 brings 3 sort of thing. But it'll be interesting to see how they attack the next 15 overs.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's bring boundaries away from Kushal. See if he can try and force something out and really try and build up the pressure to him, and maybe the short ball ploy could work for Bim. But it looks like we're going to get a little bit of spin. Jersey's number 27, Ben Ward, is going to be coming on to the bowling. And it's an interesting play here from Jersey. It'll be good to see if we can get any turn out of this wicket.
I'd love to see some turn out this way, because that asks a lot more questions. That really provides a different challenge. Leg spinner, not easy in these conditions to come on straight away, so it'll be interesting to see how he settles in nicely. I'm sure Benjamin has got some quality repertoires to sort of lean on in terms of experience. It'll be interesting to see on this pitch, it's the pace that you can deliver on, and whether you can extract some pressure of the ball sliding in, or whether you can just get a little bit of turn there.
Here we go then, after the drinks break. Ben Ward draws out a pushing defensive to start. Good start from him. It's also always really interesting to see in these 50 over matches how spinners start to work out, as you mentioned, about the pace that they're bowling. sort of what works on each surface. It's always slightly different, whether it's a get the ball above the eye line or hit it in a little bit more darty as Kushal drives out to wide long off region. Just a single. But I think you're right, it feels like a pitch that might not grip early on, so actually those slightly quicker sliding deliveries might prove more successful.
Yeah, and you can just see from Kushal's first two balls there that it's an up and down movement from the bowler. Great pace going through the crease. Lovely to see. Great action. It's smooth. It's just whether he can get some turn out. The danger is if there's no turn, over extra cover becomes a target area.
Very good start this from Ward. I do like it when, if you've just picked up on that over extra cover area, and I always see it as a little bit of a trap, and if spinners can build up some pressure, good diving stop at mid-wicket, all of a sudden, when a player has to try and force it over extra, maybe if it's not there to be hit, it's often how some brilliant batters do get dismissed when they search for that gap over extra. First drag down there from Ward, gets clattered out towards deep cover.
And I'd probably say just a hint of spin. A little bit of purchase just off the ground. And again, if you can find the right pace with the right length, I think you will get some purchase from it. The question is whether you can maintain that pace. Often what they say in cricket is, as a bowler, you've got to really, the first 4 or 5 deliveries is find out what pace you need to bowl, what length you need to bowl, and what plan you need to set up. The excellent players in the world probably do that in 2 to 3 balls. They'll figure that out quite quickly. Other bowlers might take an over to sort of realise that, club amateurs might take 3 overs. So it's how quickly you can suss that out.
Yeah. Well, Prashad's going to have a switch of ends. Chuggy, who bowled pretty well from the far end, now just taking its talents to this one. And Jersey seem to think now, as soon as the first 15 or so overs are up, they've had the drinks break and they've had their group discussion over a bit of hydration, and now they come to the agreement that pace off is the way forward. Can they get a breakthrough? Can they build up some pressure and maybe force an error out of these 2 set batters for Nepal? Here comes Prashad. Full on the pads. They're going to find a quick single into the leg side. What are the challenges that a bowler like this possesses? How he's not a spinner. He's very much a slow medium bowler with lots of tricks, and it's the kind of bowler which is quite classical of sides in the UK. It provides a different challenge, doesn't it?
I had the great pleasure of watching Benny Hall bowl in the franchise cricket.
Yes.
He was part of a team that I was involved in, and his repertoire was fantastic. And them sort of bowlers are very, very tricky and often match winners.
Yeah.
So they can either they'll take the pace off and stick to one side and try and force an error in the batter with lots of different repertoires, pace off, different variations, and that's what you want from these type of bowlers. And they'll bowl wicket to wicket, keeper up, lots of pressure.
Very Benny Howe-like is Prashad. He sprints in with a little bit more gusto this time. Building some good pressure here.
And this is the type of bowler who can build pressure, keep her up, get through the overs very quickly. Before you know it, you might be on 21, 22 overs and you've not added too much to the scoreboard. So, quality cricketer, straight into great lengths, and this is the type of pressure you want.
A little bit of grip from the surface. Draws a loose shot from Kushal, plays it out to square leg for a single. It's often thought about in the second innings of a white ball game that when 2 slower bowlers can get through and over really quickly, all of a sudden the chasers have lost overs in their run chase.